This week I'm fortunate to be behind the wheel of the hottest car of the year, the 2020 Chevy Corvette. This is also the most sought after vehicle by car reviewers all over America. This is the 8th generation Corvette, therefore it is known as the C8. The first Corvette debuted in 1953. In 67 years, this is the first mid-engine Corvette in history. The exterior speaks for itself. It has beautiful lines, it's sleek, and it has air vents everywhere to feed the engine. The C8 has 19-inch front wheels and 20-inch back wheels, topped off with a rear spoiler and quad exhaust. People stare at this car wherever you go, and people constantly film you when you're going down the road. Many have said they thought it was a Ferrari. Look through the outside rear glass behind the driver's compartment and you'll find the meat of this sports car, a 6.2-liter naturally aspirated V8 that's putting out 490 horses and 470 pound-feet of torque. It'll take you from 0 to 60 in a mere 2.9 seconds, and if you keep going, you'll reach 194 miles per hour. To help with these incredible statistics, the big V8 is hooked to an 8-speed dual-clutch transmission that you can shift from paddles if you wish, but I found it best to just let the tranny do its thing. Pop open the electronic doors to reveal a true driver cockpit that looks way ahead of its time. The attention to detail in this interior is amazing. Contrast colors flow from the door panels into the stitched dash to form a dual layer of material. The air vents are ultra thin, more so than I've ever seen. Set behind the unusual square steering wheel, and you'll find a bright and easy to read gauge cluster that is configurable and changes with each drive mode. Your eyes are immediately drawn to the climate control bar that separates the driver from the passenger. It is a sight to see. There is an 8-inch infotainment touchscreen that operates audio, Bluetooth, nav, Wi-Fi hotspot, settings, Apple CarPlay, and Android Auto. Swipe left and you'll find apps, OnStar, the climate settings, camera settings, marketplace, Amazon Alexa, and a cool feature called the Performance Data Recorder. When you use an SD card with the PDR, you can record your performance statistics and play them back. Best of all, it doubles as a dash cam. Another cool feature is the rearview mirror camera, which is nice considering rear vision is somewhat limited. Back to the center console, you'll get a couple of cup holders, a center glove box, and you'll see a soft touch hand rest positioned over the drive mode switch to use when you're using the touchscreen. The transmission buttons right next to it are fantastic. There's a switch to turn on a front view camera, a handy thing to have when you have a car that sits this low to the ground. Between the seats is a cell phone charger, but you sort of have to contort to use it. There is a wonderful head-up display with sign recognition. Let's talk about the drive modes. You can choose from Tour, Sport, which is my favorite actually, Track, Weather, and My Mode, which you can set to your own liking. Each mode seriously changes the dynamics of this car. The C8 has a trunk in the front that's called a frunk. That will carry a good amount of cargo, and there's more room in the engine compartment. If you take the targa top off, it'll fit snugly in the rear for safekeeping. The rear hatch is soft close. Just barely put it down and it'll close itself. This is the 2LT package right in the middle of the 3 packages. Standard equipment is ample, including the removable targa top, remote start, power heated and cooled seats, power tilt steering wheel that's also heated, and a Bose 14-speaker stereo. Options-wise, the 2LT package, which has a long list of great features, is $7,300. Upgraded seats and wheels total $3,000. Performance exhaust and red brake calipers will add $1,800. Now, if you're over 6 foot tall, you'll be okay with the headroom, and the C8 is easier to get in and out of than previous versions. Best of all, the mid-engine body adds a lot of stability and really plants this car to the ground. My 2016 Z06 was not nearly as stable or planted, which is why I got rid of it. If you care about fuel economy, you shouldn't be looking at the Vette, but it's actually pretty good at 15 in town and 27 on the highway. The 2020 Corvette is nothing short of amazing. The throttle response and acceleration is quick, and the dual clutch transmission shifts so smoothly it's hard to feel it. MSRP is $72,075, and honestly, I don't know how they could build this supercar and sell it for that. I've had some exotic sports cars before that were 3 times this price, but not as enjoyable. Thanks for riding along with us today for another CarPro test drive, this week with the 2020 Chevy C8 Corvette. Now, if you think this might be your dream sports car, go to CarProUSA.com to find the closest certified Chevy dealer to you. Just understand, there's a long waiting list for this much sought after vehicle, and I think you can see why.